Hold up, hold up, hold up. It's that boy G Planz. Don't give a damn. He cooler than a fan. Walking real tall. Some say he's a man.
Shit. When he was just, buzzing and shit like that coming up or whatever. And the nigga was, yeah, so he had shot at the cricket. You heard me, he shot the song. I guess he was gonna shoot it through cricket to get him to listen to it. But I know Q Red, I know Fee, you know what I'm saying? So I just got in touch with them directly, you heard me? And was like trying to see what's up. And bro gave me a player price, a dub, you heard me, 20 piece, you feel me? Like, and he was gonna clear the record and do the video.
Oh, that's Gucci.
I was gonna be able to come down and do the song with him, you know what I'm saying? He turning down features for 100,000, $250,000 right now. You feel me? And I could have really had that in the bag at that time and probably built a relationship. But by me depending on a nigga who pump fake, I ain't, you know what I'm saying? Or probably, you know what I'm saying? You telling me to inquire about some shit, or you saying you gonna inquire about it. I could really go pull the string and make it happen, you feel me? And really cause your blood probably. You just probably pump it. You ain't know I won't be able to get it. I got you on the phone with a nigga, you heard me? Type shit. But he wasn't even ready to and that's how that made me look. You feel me? Like, yeah.
That's crazy,
But that told me though, you gotta have your own business in order. Get your own money, get your own, don't depend on nobody. I never really did depend on nobody though. I always been an independent artist. I've been around a lot of situations and shit coming up in the game.
Yeah.
Soaked up a lot of game, you feel me? Got inspired by a lot of niggas and shit, but I ain't never ride no nigga coattail or hang around. You know what I'm saying? I always did my own thing since a little child. Like, I been getting money. You hear me? Like,
real talk. So, J Slim, New Orleans on. We here.
Believe that.
Changeofplanz.
You hear me?
I want to say I appreciate you, your time. I appreciate you wanting to be on the channel, man. I appreciate your support. You've been watching for a while, and we've been trying to do this for a long time.
Fucking right.
You know what I'm saying? But how you feeling, man? Talk to me, man.
Man, I'm feeling good. I live for moments like this, you hear me? Like, this part of my calling, my passion is all time to the music, you hear me?
Yeah.
It's one thing to make the music, but you gotta get it out there, and it's one of the ways, you know what I'm saying? And I'm a fan of your platform, you hear me? Like, you did, I feel like you one of the next big ones to come up out of Louisiana, you hear me? Like, so it's an honor to be on your platform, you did? And I just want to be able to tell my story to the world in an organic way. You feel me? And it came to me like, you know what I'm saying? I always wanted to interview. I'm like, I can't interview myself, put the camera from myself. It gotta be on a, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna come when it's time, you feel me? And shit just lined up like that. And I got an album dropping in a couple days, and then I just decided, like, something in my spirit, like, man, shoot out of town, you hear me? Go somewhere different, you hear me? Came out to Texas, man, and we up.
Straight up, man. So let's talk about it. New Orleans. What part?
That's where it started at for me. All over that bitch, but I'm from where I originated from, Uptown, Third Ward, Zion City, a small neighborhood called Zion City. A lot of people don't know. A lot of people know about the Magmel Callio projects. You know what I'm saying?
This is Zion City, New Orleans.
In New Orleans.
Baton Rouge got a Zion City too.
Yeah, they got a Zion City too. I've been through that, you hear me? You know what I'm saying? A lot of great people that came out that motherfucker over the years, you hear me? Shout out to them, you dig? But yeah, Zion City, New Orleans, you dig, in the Third Ward, right up the street from the Callio. Small neighborhood, you hear me? Get respect, you hear me? We players, you dig? Like, we the players of the three, you feel me? Like, we ain't had too much beef over the years and shit like that. We ain't had a lot of casualties over the years compared to other places and we small, so we only got a small community, and we ain't lost that many, you feel me? Because we could go anywhere. We be fucking with everybody. Not on no friendly vibe and playing side shit, but just we with everybody, you know what I'm saying? Everybody with us, even niggas that's at odds with each other. We watching shit unfold, but like Zion City always just been a cool hood. Everybody fuck with, you know what I'm saying? Now the younger generation, they probably came in, started wilding out. You know, the younger generation, they don't stand on the same morals and principles, so shit got kind of crazy. But like, far as the reputation, my era and being behind, and you know what I'm saying, what I represent, Zion City, yeah, it's monumental in the three, you heard me? And I'm the face of this shit, because I'm the nigga to put it on the map in a positive light, you heard me?
Straight up.
So,
I want to bring this up as well. I got out the mud. I made a name for myself.
Right.
Talk about that.
Fucking right.
You know? Because people don't understand how hard it is to do that. Coming from your city, you know.
Definitely.
And we gonna get and that's what we're here for, to get off into your story. We're gonna talk about Atlanta and stuff like that. But it started in New Orleans. But you say you got out the mud, made a name for yourself. Talk about that.
Man, it all started with like a will, a want, you know, a dream, and being inspired by the people that came before me. You feel me? I'm from that Cash Money No Limit area, you know what I'm saying? So I was inspired by that, you feel me? Like, and at that time, when they was popping, I moved to Atlanta. But you know, I'm from New Orleans. I got that hometown pride. Cause look who, you know what I'm saying? They like, so you know, Cash Money No Limit. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, man, I'm from that same shit type shit. So I always stuck to that. Even though I grew up, you know what I'm saying, in the 8, you did, came back to New Orleans. You know what I'm saying? I just always been inspired by my environment, you dig? Like, and I was blessed to be around a lot of key players in the game, from the streets to the music. And they inspired me. I soaked up a lot of game. And I never really had help. I had opportunities, but I was so young and blinded to the fact, like, I ain't know how to capitalize off them opportunities. When you young, you don't really have a plan. You don't really know. You know, you just figuring this shit out as you go. So I watched a lot of shit come and go. Like, you know what I'm saying? A lot of these stars and people you hear from New Orleans and Atlanta, Zone 6, I done been around the best of them, you heard me? Like, from rags to riches, like when they was nobody, you heard me? So I know the formula, the character, because I come from that, you feel me? Like, when niggas say shit like jigging, finessing, that's the lifestyle and the lingo I come from before it was cool and rap. Like, a lot of people just be using shit and words and lingo because they heard it in the rap song or on the internet, but like, nigga, we the ones who really made this shit trendy for real, like, you know what I'm saying?
Straight up.
Like,
I want to talk about this too before you get off.
I probably went off subject, so I ain't really ask you a question, but you know.
We talking, man.
Yeah.
It started in New Orleans.
Yeah.
How did you make your way to Atlanta? Because I know Atlanta played a major part into your success and where you at today as well.
Yeah, most definitely.
So, did you, like, was it before Katrina, after Katrina?
Way before Katrina. I was a little boy, you know what I'm saying? It did, like, my mama moved up at an early, because New Orleans was so bad. This round, like 94, 95, you know, that's when it was crowned the murder capital, you feel me?
You know what? Soulja Slim said that.
Yeah.
If you was up to poach in 94,
yeah,
you're a gangster out here.
Yeah,
It was wicked out here.
It was for real, like, you know what I'm saying? Imagine what's going on now times double that, you feel me?
In 94?
In 94, you feel me? Like, it was like 400 murders, more murders than days in a year, you feel me? So that shit was wicked, you feel me? So it was just so bad, my mind wanted better for us, you heard me? And I remember vividly how shit was, like, just having to sleep on the floor at night when they shooting and shit like that, waking up bullet holes in your door and shit like that, like, all type, cause you know, it's just wild, just all type of shit going on. But yeah, we ended up moving to Atlanta, like, probably like 96, 97, like, around when the Olympics and Princess Diana died. I remember, because I remember when I was young hearing all that shit on the radio and shit. But we moved out, you heard me? We moved a little 5 Points, a little area called Little 5 Points, you heard me? Like, that bitch kind of reminded you of the French Quarter, just like a little small, a lot of little shops and shit like that. My mom had a little vegan restaurant and a jewelry store, and we was living out that bitch at first, you heard me? And I met a lot of people, India Ivory used to come shop in my mom's restaurant, fucking Andre 3000, Erykah Badu, you know what I'm saying? These people really had personal relationships with my mom. This Andre 3000, like, one of the, you know what I'm saying, greatest rappers, you heard me? And he really stopped have conversations with me. Oh, how your son doing? You know what I'm saying? She'd tell him how I'm wild and doing it. She like, oh, he just young. He gonna, you know, I would like that too, type shit, you feel me? I remember seeing him one day, I got a little autograph, you know what I'm saying? But, man, I was young getting money too. Like, I played the trumpet, you heard me too. Cause just growing up, being from New Orleans, being in the jazz.
So you naturally picked the trumpet up?
Yeah, I mean, you know, but really, my dad was a famous jazz musician, first of all. Earl Turberton, you heard him? He played with B.B. King, Miles Davis. He played the background music on that LaBelle song, that Itchy Gitchy, Ya Ya Da. You know what I'm saying? That type shit, you feel me? I just found a clip on YouTube, J.J. Evans introducing B.B. King, and he right there on stage with him, you hear me? The nigga who played on guitar, I'm like, this shit So it's in my blood as far as the music, period, the jazz. And I'm from New Orleans. I love second line music, rebirth, brass band, all that type of shit. I grew up on. My mom was a photographer. You heard me? So she used to keep us at the second lines and shit like that. And she used to be in all the music or whatever. So that shit just was in me. I played it probably in the 3rd grade band. You heard me? Other than that, I just played by ear from there. But when I went to Atlanta, I used to be out there playing my trumpet. You heard me? Like, you know how they do in the French quarters and shit. And I had my little trumpet case out there. You feel me? I put a dial in that bitch to give people a hint, like tip a nigga. And I'm just playing. I ain't that cold, but I'm just playing shit. You hear me? And I started making money. I used to make $200-300 in like an hour. My brother beating on the bucket with the drumsticks. You hear me? I'm playing the trumpet.
You were one of those kids, because when I go to New Orleans, I always see kids doing that, beating on the bucket.
Yeah. See, I ain't do it in New Orleans. I never did it in the quarters like how everybody traditionally do it, like in the quarters, making money, tap dancing, all that type of shit. I ain't do that. But I'm from there, so when I went to Atlanta, I used to do it, and I'm the only person doing it. It was just probably amazing to them. You feel me? And then at this time, this before social media, ain't like, it's like, all you know is your culture and what you're around type shit. So I'm from a different culture in New Orleans. I'm bringing up some flavor they ain't never seen. So I'm just going crazy making money. I'm a little kid though, you heard me?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what we started at. It did for us like coming to Atlanta. Then we ended up, I say about 99, my mom bought a house in Reynoldstown. Reynoldstown, that's a neighborhood in Zone 6. That bitch right across from Edgewood. And that's right across from Kirkwood. Kirkwood, that's like Mexico. That's where like Future from. Edgewood, that's where Duct Tape started at Big Bank, all them people, you feel me?
Good.
Reynoldstown,
Okay.
that's like the less known hood worldwide. Like when you think of Zone 6, you think East Atlanta, you think Gucci Man, you think Little Mexico, Kirkwood, you think Free Band, you think Edgewood, you think Duct Tape. But nobody ain't really just came out of Reynoldstown on no music or on no business level, you feel me? So I'm probably one of the few. And it's crazy because it's like, it's ironic, like I'm from New Orleans, from the 3rd Ward, but I'm from Zion City, the least known hood worldwide. Everybody know about Calio, No Limit, Magnolia, Cash Money, but they don't know about, but if you from there, you know about it. You feel me? You know what it's about, you feel me?
I want to say this, since you were moving to Atlanta, you coming into Atlanta, you've been in relationships. Did they ever accept you as an artist? Because sometimes you're like, oh, he from New Orleans, he ain't even from here.
Yeah, see, I ain't gonna lie. Back then, they love New Orleans niggas. You heard me? Like, but after Katrina, it was more like they probably, cause the tension, you feel me, they probably had, but it was still love. I think when Atlanta started finding themselves and their sound, it just got to the point where like, boy, we Atlanta. Like, we don't give a fuck with who no nigga is, you feel me? It ain't about where you from. You like, this, you here in the 8. Now, everybody coming to the 8. You feel me? Atlanta then found their swag, you know, they been doing their thing, like, for the streets, business, black excellence to the fullest, you heard me? Like, and that's probably why my mama chose to move there. And she gave me an option. She was like, you want to stay here with your grandparents or you want to move to Atlanta with me? And I'm young as a motherfucker. I'm like probably about 9 years old, but I don't know why a 9-year-old thinking like this, but I'm like, you know what? I could go out there and start a whole new life. And I really remember thinking this shit, you hear me? At my grandma's house in the 9th where I'm like, I should just go out there. My oldest brother stayed with my grandparents, and me, I'm the youngest, you heard me? And my brother, who was the middle, he went to Atlanta with me. So we out there, my brother, he grew up with my grandparents, so he gutted 2 shoes, like a pure soul, like he don't do no wrong. He grew up around my grandparents. My brother, we was running, thugging together. We had each other to get each other in trouble, do shit, be exploring and doing all type of shit. So when we moved to Atlanta, you know, like I said, we was doing other shit. But when we moved to, you know, when we was in Little 5 Points, we was, you know, playing the trumpet, beating on the bucket, doing little kid shit. But when we moved to Reynoldstown, Zone 6, that's when the nigga got into the streets. You hear me? Because when we moved there, like, now that bitch gentrified, but when we moved, that bitch was straight trapped out. Trap houses, bandos, J's, hustlers, takers, you heard me?
You seen Atlanta develop right in front of you.
Develop, yeah, like I was there. Like I remember when a lot of the shit was just red clay. Now it's just buildings everywhere, you feel me? So I was in that field. Like Atlanta always been known for music.
Yeah.
You feel me? But like now it's more commercially just the Black Hollywood. And I was in the midst of this shit. Like I remember how Atlanta was before it is now. Like, I know what a nigga mean. I'm really from this bitch, just like I'm from New Orleans, you know what I'm saying? I just lived the baddest life back and forth, you know what I'm saying?
Man.
Like, I was here before niggas was on that gang shit. Like, they had people coming, real official gang members coming here, and that's probably how that shit migrated, and I think it just got out of hand. But, like, I remember niggas wasn't repping no Crips and Bloods in Atlanta and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was just like, niggas was on some get money shit, trapping. You had some niggas, they takers, jack boys, some niggas strong arm, you know what I'm saying, go in your pockets type niggas. You got niggas who be on the gambling shit, like finessing. A lot of niggas on finessing more than just straight up jacking a nigga or killing a nigga.
I'm hearing that.
Like, you know, down south Louisiana, we more aggressive, more violent. If anything, you feel me? We had, and I ain't gonna say in the 90s, I think New Orleans was at its peak in the 80s, 90s as far as hustling. In the 2000s and everything, it went kind of just downhill. It kind of went just probably just really just, these niggas don't want nothing out here now. It's different. I don't know.
No, it's really different.
I don't know. I don't know how we get to this, but this shit different.
Yeah, it's different. But I got some key points that we gonna talk about.
Yeah.
And of course, you've mentioned him in a lot of different interviews. I'm gonna bring him up. First, I want to say Trouble, R.I.P. Trouble.
Believe that, man. I left school.
Trouble. I've never met him personally, but I was a fan of his music.
Yeah.
Boosie used to talk about him a lot.
Yeah.
And he just looked like an outgoing dude.
Bro was a good nigga, bro.
He was cool, one of Atlanta's own. It's a thorough guy, from what I've seen. Tell me about y'all relationship before we get into the others.
Man, Trouble, you heard me? It was all love and all respect with us, you heard me? He wasn't a nigga I ran with every day, but all of us got mutual partners. We went to school together. We all grew up in Edgewood together, you heard me? He watched me come up and do my music shit. I watched him come up and do his music shit for years. And I was proud of bro, like, you know what I'm saying, just to see him finally stepping into his success and seeing the world starting to grab. And he really just found himself, like them last two albums, that Edgewood and that Thug Love, like, bro had done really found his sound, and I think he just perfected that shit. And you know what I'm saying? Like, bro, he was something special. He was unique. Like, he was so Atlanta, you heard me? Like, but he was in his own way. He don't sound like nobody else. He was a player nigga, you heard me? Like, cool nigga, you know what I'm saying? Mario, Trouble School, whatever you want to call him, you heard me? But
how did his death, like, impact you or affect you?
Man, I ain't gonna lie, that shit was heartbreaking, bro, because just me knowing his heart, and he a stand-up dude, like, he ain't deserve to go out like that. That was like some lame shit, how that shit went down. But it did teach me and raise my awareness about, like, how to move, you hear me? It's a hard lesson that you gotta live with, you know what I'm saying? Like, and nigga can't get them back, you heard me? Like, and we can't really question that shit or explain that shit. You know what I'm saying? Everybody grieve and get what they get from it. But for me, it just taught me, man, like, damn, like, we gotta really be moving in our purpose at all times. You gotta know who you is. Not saying he didn't, because he definitely did, you know what I'm saying? Everybody slip sometime. Everybody give in or lust or do certain shit where they not just always on their A game, especially if they ain't got somebody on their side to be like, hey, bro, you slipping, you tripping, you feel me, or whatever. Not saying he was probably just doing something he used to doing, kicking it by his little house, you know what I'm saying, whatever. And shit just went down, whatever, you know, I don't really know the situation, but like, it just taught me, like, you know, like, a lot of people had a lot of shit to say, like, why she, you know, put him in that situation, could have let him know what happened, you know what I'm saying? Like she got to do, like, nigga, know, okay, you got to do it. I ain't trying to be in this bitch, just kick back, you feel me? Like,
well, you know, a lot of women ain't gonna tell you that.
Yeah, a lot of them, especially, you got to look at it. It's not just no anybody. This Trouble. This a star rap in Atlanta on the come up, you heard me? So, okay, you beefing with your nigga, you probably won't flex on him like, I gotta, you know what I'm saying? Or you gonna do the extra to be run up under this nigga. Like, the average nigga, you probably wouldn't let nigga come to your shit, but this him, so you want him under you heard me? Like, you feel me? But like, man, I don't know. I don't even want to speak on that situation. Like, in a sense, because it is what it is. Because it like, cause none of us see that shit coming, bro. Can't see that shit coming. It's unfortunate, bro. I love that nigga to death, you heard me? And I think he has so much more to offer to the world. But I think it's just an eye opener for women and niggas. And niggas in status, like, you can't just be going by these female house. You feel me? Like, you gotta really know, you know what I'm saying? Meet me at the hotel or something, you feel me? Like, or if I'm gonna come to your shit, I'm gonna hit you, then I'm gonna dip, you feel me? Like, type shit, you feel me? Like, not saying that's always the case, because it might be some cool, you know what I'm saying? But you just always gotta be on your A game, and like I say, living in your purpose, stick and move. Nigga ain't got time for the extras, you heard me? Like, you know what I'm saying? You should have something at home anyway that you feel comfortable bringing to your house, you know what I mean?
Real talk.
But yeah, that shit crazy.
That's an R.I.P. Trouble.
For real, man.
Another guy you lost was Bankroll.
Yeah.
And you spoke about Bankroll, but not on this platform.
Yeah.
So you lost Trouble and you lost Bankroll.
Yeah.
And you knew both of them personally.
Fucking right. And I see my Bank, that was my brother. Like, that was my fucking dog. Like, you heard me? Like, his daddy, you feel me? And his stepdaddy, I grew up around them. I was around them more than him at one point. That's how I met him through them, you heard me? I was a little young nigga from New Orleans, thugging, trapping, smoking weed, toting strap. So I was already out here, and these older niggas took a liking to me, and I was doing music. They so happened to have a studio, so I was just around in the mix, you feel me? Now I know this before, Bankroll Fresh, this when he was young Fresh, you heard me? We was just starting trying to do the music, you heard me? And so I think he always took a liking to me because I hung around his daddy. Probably when he couldn't be around his daddy, you feel me? Because by him being that's your son, you ain't gonna have him around shit. You ain't gonna have his mama tripping on you. Like, you got, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I'm in the hood where these niggas at every day. So I'm around them, you know what I'm saying? And I'm seeing shit and I'm soaking up game and I'm, you know what I'm saying, in the mix of shit at a young age though. On some player big dog shit though, you feel me? Like, and when I start hanging around them, I stopped hanging around the niggas on the block, you feel me? And that's when we formed a relationship, getting to know each other. But it was after the situation when his dad had the studio and shit, we got closer, because for some reason, he just never forgot about me. It was times I ain't really had no way to get in touch with him. He'd be like, man, come to the studio, you'll find a way to get in touch with me. You know what I'm saying? Even when he became successful with the Bankroll Fresh shit, like, bro still kept it real. You know what I'm saying? Like, we'd be at the club type shit.
Yeah.
You heard me?
Yeah.
And I might pull up in the Uber because I know he in this business now. I'm about to go kick it with my dog. He with the stars. I'm trying to mix and mingle too. I might not have a ride. You heard me? He'll still bring a nigga home. He might have a bitch trying to go home with him, but he gonna keep it real. He ain't get big headed like on Bankroll Fresh. Like, none of that shit. Like, bro, still pull up on a nigga, do shit for a nigga, whatever, you feel me? Like, that was my real, we had a genuine relationship. It wasn't even about music. We got music together, but some of that shit will probably never come out just because it was in our younger days, you heard me? Like, when a nigga was still becoming who they is today.
Now, let me say this. He had a line in one of his records, I think he said, 2014, I was drunk as fuck on bourbon.
Yeah.
Young nigga. Now, I think that's what he said.
Yeah.
When he went to New Orleans, were y'all together, or he went on a separate trip?
Man, you want me to tell you a funny story?
Talk about it.
He didn't even make it to New Orleans that year. He was supposed to go. He called me like, bro, I'm about to come down there. Got down, shouted booking a flight. Somehow shit, they missed the flight or something, they get booked right or something. But he ended up missing that shit. This the year when they had the All-Star down there, whatever, some shit. Birdman down. This right when Young Thug got with Birdman. Mind you, he know Thug and shit. He probably come down to fuck with him and all the other Atlanta niggas in New Orleans. And to fuck with me, because I'm his dog in New Orleans, you feel me? But yeah, he ended up not even making it. But you know, by him making a song, Ballin' Like a Hot Boy, talking about New Orleans shit, he had to throw that line in there, because that's really what he was about to do at that time.
Wow.
Like, you know what I'm saying? All-Star 2014, I was drunk as fuck on Bird.
Yeah.
Because that really what he was supposed to be doing that day. Yeah. I don't know, maybe he came later, something came another day and still did it like that. But I remember him missing that shit like, bro, I missed that. I'm like, damn, bro, because I was going to be in the mix with you, with everything else. Like, you feel me? Like, so yeah, and that was right when bro was coming up with the High Boy. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, when I was the High Boy, he had another song, trying to get a 36 that was popping right before High Boy. You hear me? But you know, he was coming up in the ranks. He was doing shit with Gucci Mane, Chief Keef, and all them. You feel me? Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, that shit. Yeah.
I just popped in my head, but I wanted.
That's crazy. You asked that out of everything to ask, and I was able to just give y'all something that don't nobody probably know but people in this circle. You hear me? Cause me and this other partner joke about that shit sometimes too.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah. Long live my dog Bankroll, man.
Long live Bankroll.
One of the greatest to ever do it for Atlanta, man.
And I know his death hurt.
Fucking right. That shit hurt the word, changed the nigga, you hear me? But another hard pill and lesson learned, you hear me? Type shit, you hear me? Just knowing who you is and you can't feed into certain shit. You hear me? Like, that shit was an unfortunate situation, you hear me? Like, and, you know, people point the finger to say who right or who wrong, and nigga don't even know the real logistics and details of that shit to even say that, you feel me? And I wasn't there that night, so, you feel me? So it was, you know what I'm saying, too. If I felt a mixed way about that shit too, how it went down, because I felt like if I was there, it wouldn't have went down like that. You feel me? Like, that story is deep, you heard me? And I don't even like, you know what I'm saying? I just leave that shit at rest, you heard me? I just say it wasn't worth it.
Yeah.